All right, everybody, welcome back to the channel. It's Matty here from Chill TCG. So today we're going to be taking a look at the Grand Finals match from Chill Series 19, which wrapped up this past Wednesday. So we got Fernando Cifuentes playing Poison Eternatus versus Haruki Tsutsumi, and he is actually playing ability Centiskorch, or Centinets as some people call it. The matchup is absolutely fantastic. I'm not going to give you any spoilers, but it is an incredibly close best-of-3 match. We're going to be watching this game from the perspective of the Centiskorch here, Haruki. Yeah, I'm just really excited to get into it. Both players had a fantastic run in the tournament, and they both played exceptionally well throughout, all of the rounds here for this tournament. One thing I do want to mention, which is something that might be a little bit, I guess, annoying for the people watching, is Haruki here. The way he plays and the way he sort of just goes about playing PTCGO is you'll see oftentimes that he clicks his discard pile extremely often. He just sort of like spam clicks it. Like you're seeing right now. It makes it a little bit difficult to watch, but I apologize ahead of time. Fernando wasn't able to capture his screen, so this was the only perspective we were able to watch. So just keep in mind that he's going to be doing that very often throughout the entirety of the match. So I apologize ahead of time, but both players are just they're going to do what they need to do, right, to perform their best here in the matches. So, no disrespect to Haruki. It's just something that it just might be a little bit interesting to watch here for a bit. We're going to see that Fernando goes first. So he starts off with Crobat there, and he gets Eternatus Slowbro, and then he Crobats out again during his turn. Gets that energy on E-turn, while Haruki here starts off with Centiskorch V. Does find the Giant Hearth. He's going to look through his deck. He's going to find his prize cards, figure out what's in his deck, and what's not in his deck, I suppose. He is running that Charizard. We do see a reset stamp here, but he's got the Giratina, he's got Phione, he's got all that good stuff. He's going to go ahead, I think, and just grab... So he discarded a Fire Energy with the Giant Hearth here, and then he's debating how many he should be grabbing here. I don't know. I think he probably wants to try to Dedenne out this hand. I believe that's probably his best option here, so he's just going to grab one. And he's actually just going to go ahead and probably just get rid of this hand. He's just going to yeet it. We do see he's got two Dedennes there, Crobat. So yeah, he's just going to go ahead and yeet this hand. I don't know if he'll even attach right here. I guess putting a couple Fire Energies in the discard pile, you thin out your deck, and you also kind of increase the probability of you drawing some cards that you need. And then we see here that he only has one energy with Welder, so maybe it wasn't the best idea to Giant Hearth before. You got discarded your hand, but you know what? It is what it is. We do find the VMAX here. Oh, I guess sorry, I must not have been paying attention. So I guess Haruki was going first. And now I guess this is his second turn. So Fernando ended up going second, I believe. Okay, yeah, that makes more sense. Okay. So we do see a switch here, so he can go into Jirachi. I suppose he's probably going to try and find like a Fire Crystal here to put an energy here on Volcanion, and then he's going to go into Volcanion to get the ability. But we don't see any way for him to do that. So the sequencing here was a little bit interesting. I'm not saying it was incorrect or anything. I'm not good enough to really give you that info. But definitely very interesting the way that Haruki plays. He does have a Zigzagoon in this deck, and you'll see actually that his strategies here with the Centiskorch VMAX are actually extremely interesting for the most part. He is down 2 switch cards. For meta that is. He is running, of course, Dark City. He's running, hiding energies and whatnot. So, plenty of switching options there for Fernando for meta. Haruki here, he's already down a Welder, 3 energies. I'm not going to probably use that Charizard here. And here we go with the discard flicking. Just flicking that discard pile. Thinking, I suppose, is what he's doing at this point, and he's just going to go ahead and pass his turn with leaving Jirachi there in the active spot. Let's see if Fernando is able to set up this Eternatus VMAX. Well, he evolves into it. I assume he's going to find an energy. He's actually going to Marnie out here. This isn't extremely good for Haruki. His hand is actually pretty decent right now. He's got kind of everything that he could need, so this Marnie is going to hurt him quite a little bit. The 4 cards that he draws actually are Crobat, another Jirachi, Pokémon, and a Welder, but that Giant Hearth is now discarded, so... he's going to need to find a way to find some energies. Of course, if this Jirachi lives, then perhaps he could find Fire Crystal. Fernando here, he goes, puts down the Croagunk. I think he just Crobated out as well to draw some more cards. Finds another Croagunk. He's going to be benching that thing right there. He does get the second energy on Eternatus. He's going to switch in, and he's just going to go ahead, Dread End, and get a nice little KO on this Jirachi. Taking one prize card early in the game, getting that Jirachi off the board is always useful. And now it kind of puts Haruki in a difficult position. He does find the Pokemon communications there, which is very interesting. He's going to go ahead, Pokecom away the Jirachi. He's probably going to find a VMAX here. And that is smart. He's going to probably be able to get 4, I guess, energies onto this Centiskorch V and get damage off on Eternatus before that Eternatus gets damage off on him. But this is Poison E-turn, right? So you got to keep in mind that, Fernando has the ability to one-shot this Centiskorch VMAX, whereas Haruki, does have the capability to one-shot Eternatus, but it's going to be a bit more difficult, right? It's going to take some more time. He's going to have to get a lot of energies on board. Overall, I would say that most people would say Eternatus has like a favored matchup here, but it really just comes down to how well you play. And if you're a great player, with either of these decks, then you can always win. And we're gonna actually see a Phione here, which is extremely interesting. And like I said, Haruki plays this matchup just a little bit differently than most people would play it. I believe Fernando here. I mean, if I had to choose, I would say probably go into Slowbro. And this makes sense. Haruki's only doing 200 damage here at the most on this Centiskorch. But, the thing with that is Slowbro has 210 HP, and Haruki does have Zigzagoon in his deck. It's not actually in his deck now. He did prize it, which is, not ideal for him. But I think that's kind of the strategy that Haruki likes to play. He likes to put, he likes to leave his opponent's Pokemon with just sort of 1 HP. If he can, right, if the math works out, and then he sort of saves them for later and gets the KOs with them with Zigzagoon. It's a pretty interesting strategy. The fact that he prized Zigzagoon, though, definitely not great. It's also going to be a little bit difficult right now for Fernando to really... he probably could have a Switch in hand. He probably could have... hiding energy, dark city, whatever it might be, he might be able to switch out of here, and I think that's not, a little bit too. That's not really that far of a stretch here. We do see one Toxicroak. If a second one comes down, I guess Fernando could be able to, to get the KO on the Centiskorch here. We don't see it though, actually, and this is super interesting. We see another Slowbro. So his bench is full. He hasn't played that 4th Crobat. Perhaps it is prized. We see a research here, so he most likely will be able to find a way to switch out here, whether it's a Dark City or a switch card. We see the second Toxicroak. This could be huge. We're going to see the Poison come out. That's 5 poison damage, plus 270. That is 320, right? So, he doesn't have a way to switch, actually, which is very lucky there for Haruki. And now, I guess his play here, again, he doesn't have Zigzagoon in deck, so I don't necessarily know what the best option here would be for him. You really got to hope that your opponent doesn't play Boss's Orders next turn if you are retreating out here. You don't really want to get a KO on this Slowbro. I would say perhaps, you try to dig for Boss. I feel like that's probably your best option, but to that same effect, if you play like a draw supporter to try to look for Boss, then you don't have any spot left on your bench to set up another Centiskorch V unless you find a Scoop Up Net for that Volcanion. We're going to see him get rid of that Great Catcher. Of course, definitely not needed for this matchup in particular. He's going to grab 2 Fire Energies. So will he actually Welder here? Okay, so we're going to see a Quick Ball. And he will be Quick Balling away Jirachi. Okay. Okay, yeah. So he's actually just going to Welder to the Centiskorch V. Leave the Switch in hand, so I guess, yeah, he's probably, if I were him, I would probably just retreat. Yeah, and he's going to retreat into that Volcanion, or switch into the Volcanion, rather. He's going to promote it there, and then now he's just hoping that Fernando doesn't have Boss's Orders, and if he doesn't, then this is, very good for Haruki, but I don't know, he's probably got, I think, probably 2 or 3 left in deck. He doesn't actually have any way to draw some more cards, with Pokemon like Crobat, because his bench is full. I think if Haruki didn't have a Zigzagoon prize right now, he would be in a much better spot. Last turn, he might be able to, get that ping on that Slowbro, and then make Fernando, promote something for a KO, which would be very ideal for Haruki. But he does have that Zigzagoon prize, and it's not too great. There's also not really anything in his hand next turn, and there's a Boss's Orders, and he's actually going to go ahead and poison this Centiskorch V, instead of perhaps getting a KO on the VMAX. Yeah, and he's just passing his turn. Wow, so Fernando, kind of dead drawing a little bit in the last few turns. And now at this point, 50 damage off on that Centiskorch V. It's not great. And this means that Eternatus VMAX with a full bench is KOing both of these Centiskorch VMAXs. It's not super great right now for Haruki. Fernando playing the matchup very smartly, though. For sure. And we see him put a 6 energy on the Centiskorch V. Or the VMAX. Now, I think he's just like 1 or 2 energies away from getting a one-hit KO on Eternatus. And it's actually super funny that you don't necessarily see this matchup being played like this. I don't know, all of you other Centiskorch players out here, you're probably wondering, like, why don't you just, like, split energies and go for 2-hit KOs on Etern and stuff like that? In my opinion, I feel like that is sort of the most commonly played strategy in this matchup. And it's just very funny to watch Haruki sort of, go against the grain and do something that people don't technically do. Fernando, he does have boss's orders in hand again. We're going to see a poison come out. Did he whiff switch? Does he also not have any way to switch out? And he doesn't. Wow. So both players really just drawn off the top of their decks at this point. And then we see a boss's orders there, actually. However, I don't believe 7 energy is enough to KO Etern VMAX. He might even be out of energy at this point. Very strange position for this for Haruki here. And I think you just sort of KO this Slowbro. Or no, yeah, actually, I think bossing is actually pretty smart here. Though there is a second Eternatus VMAX on Fernando's bench that does have the energy, right? So it's not looking good. It's not looking too great. Yes, you could be able to knock out one Centiskorch V, or VMAX, Etern VMAX. But, he's got 2 set up. They got, almost. The second one's got full HP here. I just don't know really where you go from here. Because you can't really go into Centiskorch and get the KO here, because then he's just going to KO you back, and then you lose. And again, Zigzagoon is prized. We're going to see Quick Ball here. Probably going to grab a little Crobat. Grabs Dedenne. Oh, never mind. He's all out of Crobats. Plays 2 Crobats in this deck. I'm not sure exactly what's going on. Oh, we do see a Reset Stamp. That could be clutch for him. And I guess you just... What's the play right now if you're Haruki? I think you just have to KO this thing. You got to KO, right? And just hope that Fernando doesn't have another Pokemon to slap down on the bench. And that way he can't get the KO on Centiskorch. And that's really your only hope at this point. I think he's doing 280 now. This last energy brings him up to... What is that? 320? 330? I believe he needs 1 more energy on top of this. I think he needs 8 to get the KO here. Do we see Zigzagoon? Zigzagoon could be the difference here. And there we are. So there's Zigzagoon. All of a sudden, he has game in hand, right? I mean, he can ping the Slowbro. There's the last Pokemon that's going to be a dead Centiskorch. But you can see that that's sort of the strategy that Haruki's going for, right? When he has that Zigzagoon and he gets the 200 damage off on Slowbro, you can kind of play the slow game and then go ahead and get 4 prizes in 1 turn pretty easily if you do have boss. However, I think, not going second there, getting a rough start, and then Fernando getting those clutch boss's orders early in that game, it's definitely not going to be ideal for him. We're going to go ahead and tune into Game 2 in just a second. All right, and here we go, getting into game number 2 here. So Fernando up 1-0 against Haruki here. Haruki, I think his strategy is actually not a bad one. Having Zigzagoon prize was pretty tough, and like I said earlier, not going second. Fernando... he's definitely going to have to go first this turn. Haruki does want to go second. We do see a Volcanion here and a Giant Hearth and a Quick Ball. So, definitely has potential to get a good start here. The only thing he's missing right now is a Welder. However, we do see Switch Scoop Up Net. So I guess, I don't know. He could find it. Could find the Welder. Fernando is starting with the Galarian Slowbro V while we see the Croagunk come out. We're going to see a Quick Ball, Dark City. Putting down Dark City is a little bit interesting. I don't know if playing that on your first turn was entirely necessary. I guess maybe he wants to switch out this turn. Play Switch. Just to burn some cards. Okay, and then we draw 4 with Crobat. Haruki here. He's going to go ahead and flick his discard pile a bunch of times. We put an energy on Crobat, actually, which is very interesting. And we're going to see just a rapid fire poison on the Volcanion. So not an ideal start for Fernando by any means necessary, going first as well. So not super good. We do see the Jirachi top deck. So like I said, he's got the possibility now to get the perfect start with Centiskorch. So we're going to Stellar Wish here. Does he find Welder? I think, yeah, you play Giant Hearth first. but he doesn't. Okay, so he's going to Stellar Wish. Doesn't find Welder, but we do find another Scoop Up Net, so I guess we can get the combo going. We can get the loop. He actually he grabs another Quick Ball, which is interesting. So he's going to Quick Ball away the VMAX to grab V. Okay, sure. I mean, it's, I think you got to grab it eventually. I'm not sure why grabbing the second Quick Ball happened. I guess this way you just sort of Dedenne out this turn, perhaps. We're going to Quick Ball away Boss, I would imagine. Yep, okay. So, yeah, he's playing the good old aggressive route here. We will grab, I think you grab Crobat, yeah, because you're going to switch in here. So I think you switch into Volcanion. You go ahead and Crobat. We'll see what he draws into here. Maybe it's a Welder when we get the perfect start here. No Welder. We do have a Bird Keeper. So I guess we're not going to be able to get that turn 1 going second Welder off, but we are going to get the nice 3 energy onto Centiskorch V here with the Volcanion. He does have the Bird Keeper switch, so is he maybe going to play that this turn? I think you do, actually. Just so maybe you can try to find Welder for next turn. He doesn't Stellar Wish, which is hilarious, so we're just going to go into Volcanion, and we're going to go ahead and Flare Starter for... Oh, man, I think maybe he already Stellar Wished with that Jirachi. Did he? I don't know if he did. He's going to Giant Hearth for 1 energy, and he's going to go ahead and Flare Starter and put 3 energies on his Centiskorch V. So very interesting first turn there for Haruki. I think he played it pretty well. Tried to find that Welder. Just couldn't get it. But you know what? It's not the end of the world. I think he should be able to find VMAX next turn. Maybe. Maybe not. But, the 3 energies on the Centiskorch V early in the game here going second. I think he definitely has a better start than Fernando does. Fernando, it looks like he just... okay, so he popped the Marnie. And... okay, so Haruki draws into Welder and Pokecom, which is actually kind of incredible. I'm not sure even if... Yeah, I think, yeah. So, as long as this Giant Hearth stays in play, this could be a phenomenal hand right now for Haruki. We see 2 E-turns hit the board there, and another Crobat. He's going to have he's going to put an energy on the E-turn here. But again, he's not going to be able to attack this turn. He's going to have to wait till next turn, his 3rd turn to get an attack off, which is not ideal. We see a Rapid Fire Poison on the Volcanion. We do not see a Dark City, and now Haruki will be able to get some stuff going here. We see another Welder, so I guess you probably don't want to Dedenne out this hand. I mean, you could. You definitely could. What is his play right now? I think, again, you want to get that 200 damage off on Slowbro, but he actually puts 5 on a Centiskorch V, and he does draw into a Crobat. And so, yeah, he'll be able to calm away. He'll be able to find a VMAX if he wants. Yep, very good. We're going to get a nice evolution there. He's going to evolve in. I guess you attach this to Volcanion? Sure. He's actually just going to end his turn on High Heat Blast. I'm not sure if that's ideal, but I think it actually is ideal because, again, you want to get damage off on that E-turn before they get damage off on your Centiskorch. I think that's very important for this matchup. And we do see the Toxicroak come out here. We see a Pokecom away another Croagunk. He's going to find the VMAX here. Will he have an energy? Will he have maybe a research or something to end his turn on? Or does he have yet again another Crobat, since his bench is going to be extended now that he played the VMAX? So we'll see. We'll see what comes up here. Okay, so there's a boss's orders. Not great for Haruki here. And he's actually, that poison isn't super important. Actually, it's only 3 damage. So, could be worse, I think, for Haruki here. I think Crobatting here probably makes sense. You're going to draw 3. Does he find boss? He does not find boss. But, we do have a Centiskorch V, so I suppose at this point, we just try to set up a second Centiskorch. I mean, I guess that's what I would do. We're going to Welder here, draw some more cards. He's going to look through his deck. Is Zigzagoon prized again? Did I see that? Did I see that Zigzagoon's prized for the 2nd time in a row? That could be very difficult for Haruki. Hopefully he realizes this and goes for a different strategy this game. I think he is. No boss is interesting because, again, you're going to probably want to find a way to switch out. Because I think getting the KO on the Slowbro here with Volcanion is going to be phenomenal. We do not have any way to switch at this point, but I suppose you can manually retreat out. Will he do that, actually? I think if you do that, it's still fine. I think you have Fire Crystal in deck, and it's not the worst thing in the world. I suppose, if you don't, yeah, I think you have to. Like, I don't think, you can feel safe enough to get the KO on the Slowbro with Senti, because again, he could be getting the KO on your Centiskorch next turn. So, he's gonna go ahead and get the KO with Volcanion here. Take 2 prize cards. Maybe he finds Zigzagoon. I don't know if it entirely matters at this point. We actually find a Welder. So there it is. His hand is pretty big. I would expect something from Fernando. Maybe like a Marnie if he can, right? That would be probably pretty clutch. He's only got 3 cards in hand, and again, his hand is pretty small. So, he probably doesn't even have what it takes to really get the KO on Centiskorch here. But, E-turn, it can build up its board state pretty quickly, and he should be able to find some Pokemon. He should be able to... okay, never mind. So he's just going to pass. So definitely not a great turn here for Fernando. It's just a rough time. Now, we do have Boss here for Haruki, so I suppose that is definitely a valid strategy. Will he boss this turn, or will he just set up a second Centiskorch? Okay, so he's going to Hearth away the Reshi. I think that's smart. He's got 1 energy left in deck. He's got, I think, like 2 or 3. Yeah, he's got 2 Fire Crystals left. And that's really going to be his only way to find the rest of his energy. He is going to boss up the E-turn here. I think bossing up the E-turn and just attacking with Volcanion is probably your best bet. You get that damage off on Centiskorch, on Eternatus, which is probably the most valuable thing that you could be doing right now. And, since he doesn't really have a second one nearly set up, you kind of trap it in the active spot. You don't even know. Maybe Fernando doesn't even have a way to, like, KO anything, even if you boss up that Eternatus. I think that's probably your best move. Fernando is just really top decking right now. So I think if you do that and you get the damage off with Volcanion on Eternatus, then I think that's probably your best play. But he's not going to do that. He's actually going to Welder a couple onto Centiskorch VMAX. And we're just going to see... We're going to see another manual retreat into Centiskorch, and he's going to get the KO on Crobat. So I guess he's really sort of hoping that Fernando doesn't have what he needs. Again, there's no Slowbro on the board to poison, and this Eternatus needs another energy. So we'll see. Yeah, I mean, I think that actually probably was the best play. We'll see. We're going to Pokecom here. Does he have access to... Well, he's probably going to grab Crobat here, I would imagine. He's down 1 Slowbro. Okay, so there's the Crobat. He's going to draw 4 cards. Now, I think he needs like a Dark City, an Energy, and a way to find and a Switch, I guess, and then also a Slowbro. So we see a Switch. He's just going to go into Croagunk here, and I think that spells the end of the game for Fernando. He just doesn't get what he needed to. Just didn't really draw the cards too well. Whenever you get in a position where you're just sort of top decking until you find something with Eternatus, it can turn out pretty poorly, because there's just not a lot of stuff that you can do. We do see a boss's orders, a defensive boss's orders into Volcanion, but at this point, I think that you can just Dedenne out this hand. I think he's got Switch left in deck. It's a little bit sketchy, I guess, but he's going to look through his deck. So he's got 2 Scoop Up Nets and 1 Switch. He's got 12 cards left in deck, so maybe you just try to thin a little bit, and then you just Crobat out the sucker, and you really just try to... or you just Dedenne out, right? And you just really hope that you draw that card, because if you don't, you're kind of screwed. But I think that's what he's going to go for, which is just absolutely hilarious. He's going to risk it all. And he's going to play that boss beforehand, of course. That is the best play. That is what you need to do. And we're going to see a Dedenne here. Will he find, he needs 3 cards out of these 10. He's drawing 6. Will he draw it? Will he get at least 1? I think the odds are pretty much in his favor. Let's see. Okay, there it is. He gets both Scoop Up Nets in the Switch. So that's going to be game 1, going to Haruki. So, yeah, I mean, it would have been pretty sad if he missed that. I'm not going to lie. But interesting game for Haruki. Again, that strategy was, I think he played it pretty smart. Like, I don't think really, I think he really relied on Fernando not drawing what he needed to, and then I think that was probably his best strategy. So game 2 goes to Haruki, and we're going to go to a game 3. So sit back tight, and we'll be back in just a minute. All right, guys, and here we are, game 3, Chill Series 19. Over 150 players in the tournament. All comes down to this one last match. Both players have 1 game. and the winner of this game will take the championship. Both players are earning free entry into the GG Tour regional, tournament, which is very nice. Both players are getting a sizable amount of Vivid Voltage packs for their placements here, but first place, of course, winner, winner, chicken dinner, right? You want to win, you want to get that clout, you want to be the winner. Fernando already has 2 Chill Series championships in his backpack here in his pocket, while Haruki is pretty new to the Chill Series scene, so he's looking to get that first win early on. Okay, so we're gonna see for Fernando choosing to go first. Is it? Yeah, I guess Fernando is going first. Finds the E-turn, finds the Croagunk, finds the Slowbro, does get the energy on E-turn. So, not a terrible little start here for Fernando. We're going to see a Stellar Wish come out for Haruki. I don't know what that was. That was a little bit weird. Okay, and then we're going to see a Quick Ball off the Stellar Wish. He's going to Quick Ball away something. Great Catcher. And he finds a Dedenne. Is he really going to Dedenne out here? That would be kind of nuts. I guess it's actually pretty smart, considering. But we'll see. He's going to look through his deck. He knows everything's on the line here. And yeah, so I think you put the Phione down, because why not, right? And we're going to see just like a Dedenne out. He's going to discard, all these cards here. Eldegoss could be clutch. He hasn't played it yet in this set here, but 2 Fire Energies. Okay, so that's not exactly what he wanted. I guess he can Bird Keeper here and just really hope that he finds a way to find a Centiskorch here. So let's see. Oh, there's the Quick Ball. Extremely clutch. Extremely clutch. And I think discarding a Switch here is probably your best option. That stamp is a little bit too valuable. It really kind of put Fernando in a tough position last game, and I think that's a very valid strategy when you're playing E-turn here. So we are going to see a Quick Ball away the Switch. He's going to find that Centiskorch V. Again, he's not going to be able to get that Welder off, right? To get that the extra amount of energy on turn 1 going second, but he will be able to get the multiple energies out. We're going to see a Whirlpool Suction. Very interesting. Goes into the Slowbro. Okay. So I guess he really just wants this Volcanion to live next turn, hoping that Fernando doesn't have what he needs to also switch, evolve, attach an energy, and get some damage off, get a KO here. So I kind of like that Phione play. It's not something that I guess I would have really thought to do, but in the most part, I think it probably was the right strategy. He does have energy. He does have the evolution. And he probably has a way to draw some more cards here. That would be insane. Yeah, so there's the research. So he had everything he needed. Not ideal for Haruki, but we'll see. We'll see. So no boss is coming out. But this Volcanion most likely is not living this turn. We're going to see him combo away a VMAX. Probably going to grab a Crobat, I would think. Draw some extra cards here. Put some more Pokemon on that bench. So we see an Eternatus V, a second one. So he's got 3 there on the board now, and now we are going to see a Crobat. He's going to draw, I think that was 3 or 4 cards off the Crobat. We're going to see the Poison come out for Slowbro. Do we see a Dark City? Do we see a Switch? That is exactly what Fernando needs, and that is exactly what we see. So he's going to go ahead and, he's just going to get the KO on that Volcanion, while Haruki flicks his discard pile a couple times. Centiskorch V has 3 energies, but he does have Jirachi here to draw some cards here, so I think you're looking for a Welder. Potentially you could get 6 on a Centiskorch here. I don't know if that's extremely needed. And we see a Giant Hearth. So I guess we can Hearth here. I don't even know exactly what we do here. This the stamp is just extremely useful. And I think you really have to find a VMAX here, right? So he placed the stamp early. I don't think that's a terrible move. I don't remember if he has a second one in deck. But I think Dedenne out here is probably your best strategy. He's actually going to discard that Fire Crystal. I don't know if he has too many in his discard pile. We see 2 Jirachis, Crobat, Calm, Boss. So potentially could get some nice damage off on this Eternatus VMAX here, which I think is probably his best move. Like I said last game, it is important to get the damage off on Eternatus VMAX before he gets damage off on your Centiskorch VMAX. That's very important for Haruki. However, that poison might make it a little bit... might make that strategy not as sort of, well-refined as maybe just a straight Eternatus matchup. He's going to flick his discard pile a little bit. He's thinking. So we're going to see a Calm here. Probably kind of Calm away Jirachi, I would say. But does he find a VMAX here? I think you do just grab VMAX because it's just too important not to find it. Right? But I guess... I don't know. Yeah, I think you do, right? Because yeah, I think that's the best play. You're going to evolve here. You're probably going to Welder. Or maybe you just attach and then Crobat. Attaching and then you Crobat for 3 might be the best play, actually. But we'll see. You know, we will see. Yeah, and that is exactly what he does. He draws 3 more here, so we find another boss. We do find Quick Ball, actually, so I guess, you know, he can put that second Centiskorch V down, and, you know, he can Welder to it. Oh, he's going to Phione out. And he has a switch in hand, doesn't he? Does he? Oh, no, he doesn't have a way to switch out. But he still has Stellar Wish. He has not popped Stellar Wish yet. Oh, and there's a Scoop Up Net. And Centiskorch VMAX has 4 energy, so I guess Haruki is going for that Zigzagoon strategy. Right? He's going to go ahead. He's going to Phione. Hopefully that, and hope that, oh, no, he's not. Okay. Okay. I was curious. I didn't know if he was going to go for that same strategy that he tried to do earlier in the game, which actually could be pretty clutch. We're going to see a boss up the, I don't know, do you boss? Or do you just go ahead and KO? Or just get damage off on this E-turn? Oh, he bosses up the Croagunk. I kind of like that play. You know, now no matter what, you know, he's not getting KO. You know, he's not getting KO'd by this Eternatus. And actually, this is a smart play. So now, you know, he's just one Welder, one turn away from getting enough energies to one-shot KO Eternatus VMAX. So this is actually his strategy here. It's just absolutely insane. I don't think we'd like ever see Centiskorch trying to get the one-hit KO on Eternatus VMAX. But you know what? That's what Haruki is going for. He's got Hearth, he's got Welder in hand, he's got kind of everything that he needs to potentially one-hit KO this Eternatus. So we will see. He does get that the capture energy off onto the Eternatus V. He's going to put a Croagunk down, so he's got 2 Croagunks down now. And he's going to research out. While Haruki flicks his discard pile a bunch of times. I apologize. I know it's a little bit strange. He's just looking, he's just thinking. He's plotting out his strategies. We see a 3rd Croagunk come down. But yeah, now I think Haruki should be able to get the KO on Eternatus V there, which is just absolutely crazy. Or Eternatus VMAX. Unless he's out of energy in deck. I'm not exactly sure. Fernando's going to Crobat for 2. Does he find... Well, he can't boss, so we're going to see a Dedenne for 270. Now, I think Haruki should be able to get the KO on this Eternatus VMAX. Man, this is super interesting. But I don't know, is that necessarily the best move, right? Because Fernando could potentially just set up his own Eternatus VMAX, a second one, next turn, right? And then he could get the poison stuff off, and he could just, you know, have everything he needs to end the game. So he does have the energies in deck, so I guess this is his strategy. And I think you have to at this point. I think you got to go all in on this Centiskorch here. So he gets 7 on, draws 2. He's going to have to attach the 8th to get the KO on this Eternatus, and he does. I think you just hope Fernando doesn't have it like that. I think benching the Centiskorch V is actually needed. I think you have to. And, you know, because you're kind of safe, right? He's not going to pass up KOing the VMAX, right? So, yeah, I think that's the best play. And we're going to see just a massive 360 on this Eternatus VMAX. Yeah, I mean, Fernando better hope that he has what it takes to KO this Centiskorch next turn. And he actually has to discard cards from his board as well, off his bench, because he doesn't have that second VMAX. So definitely not a terrible spot for Haruki here, but Fernando still, you know, I think he has everything that he potentially could need. And it's going to be difficult for Haruki to set up energies on this Centiskorch V. But, you know, that second Centiskorch V without Fire Crystal or something like that. I think he only has 1 left in deck. We do see a Toxicroak come out for Fernando. He's going to Hearth away the Dark Energy, so he has Crobat in hand. He's going to thin for it a little bit at this point. It'd be nice to get a VMAX. I can't see what he's doing. I think he calmed. Yeah, so we calmed away Eternatus V. He's going to Crobat here. Haruki's just absolutely spamming that discard pile. We see a Great Ball come out for Fernando. Finds the VMAX, evolves into the VMAX. Puts the second Toxicroak, evolves into it. We see the Hoopa come out. Hoopa could be extremely clutch in this matchup. Could be extremely, extremely clutch. Okay, so he researches out, so he's going pretty thin here. He's got 9 cards left in deck, but he now has 7 new cards in his hand. So Fernando should be able to come up with something here. I think he's going to get the KO on this this Centiskorch here. You know, Haruki better hopes that he can find that Fire Crystal in his deck so he can start setting up this the Centiskorch V, or Centiskorch VMAX rather. Yeah, I don't know. It's tough here. This is tough. This is pretty tough. So I think we're going to calm away something here. Oh, he does have VMAX in hand. I think he top decked it, which is kind of wild. But he does have Phione in hand, right? So, like, potentially, you know, you could force him to switch out into something, but he's not going to switch out into a 2-prizer, and I don't think that's really the best strategy to finish off the game here. I think you really do need to get damage off on this Eternatus VMAX. He does actually have Giratina double Scoop Up Nets. And this Eternatus does have special energy onto it. So this actually, like, this is actually pretty good for him. So I think you find Giratina, you get rid of both of those energies, right? And then maybe you can even, you know, you can Stellar Wish and then scoop up Jirachi as well. So I think you really need Welder at this point. He's really plotting out this strategy, finding his best move here. We see Giratina come out. And I think you just do this. I think there's nothing better that, you know, Haruki can be doing here. I think this Giratina is going to come in clutch for meta. Fernando, he kind of ran out of basic energies, and these special energies might be the downfall for him. He's going to evolve into the VMAX. I think you start doing this Giratina business real quick. Start getting this work done. And there's one. Are we going to get the scoop up here on the Giratina? We are. We're going to discard both special energies off this Eternatus VMAX. And Fernando, he's got an 8-card hand, 9-card hand even. So he's got a pretty big hand, 9 cards in deck as well. But it's going to be at least 2 more turns before he's able to get damage off. So I think Haruki's actually in a pretty good position here. He's going to quick ball for Crobat. He's going to try to find that Fire Crystal right now. I think finding that Fire Crystal is sort of the best thing that he could possibly do. Is he going to play Phione? So he is. He's actually going to burn Phione. I mean, I don't know about this. He's not checking Fernando's discard pile. I don't know how many switch he's down. Dark City is in the active spot, so I guess he can't free retreat. Fernando is down 3 switches. I don't know how many energy left he's got. He probably has at least 2 like between his hand, right, and between that and his deck. We're going to see him Crobat 4-3. Does he find the Fire Crystal? He does find Fire Crystal, so that is actually incredible. He's going to be able to grab 3 energies here. I don't think 3 energy gets a 2-hit KO on Eternatus VMAX. Maybe it does. I don't know. But he's going to put 2 on. Does find a 4th energy, actually, which is super clutch. So I guess he's got everything he needs. And, okay, yeah. So I think at this point, these 3 energy here, he's got boss in hand. So I guess next turn he has game, right? And I'm really not sure what Fernando is going to be able to do at this point. But we'll see. You know, we'll see if Fernando is going to come up with some shenanigans. He puts an energy on the Hoopa. He's going to boss up the Dedenne. Oh, and he's going to get the poison off on the Dedenne. That's going to be 5. And the Hoopa, that's Evil Admonition Hoopa, and it's going to do just enough damage to KO this Dedenne. So that is actually insane. What a crazy win con there. Doing a perfect 160 and getting those last 2 prizes, man. Fernando just coming out of this somehow with just this. I don't know. I did not see that coming, man. That is just ridiculous. Fernando Cifuentes, man. Holy cow, what a great match. What a super close match. Big shout out to both players. That was I can't even believe that just happened. That was wild. But yeah, Fernando, he becomes, I think, the 3rd Chill Series champion of all time. Like, yeah, I think he's the only person to win multiple Chill Series championships, and now he's got 3. He's a 3-time champion. So big shout out to Fernando, man, for getting that win there. That was a crazy win condition there. Wow. Yeah, I mean, big shout out to Haruki. I think he played it as good as he could. And yeah, I don't know, guys. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you guys tomorrow with another video. And yeah, thank you for everybody who's watching and playing in the tournaments and watching the videos. So yeah, I don't know. I don't even know what to say at this point. I'm going to get out of here. Peace out.